A stalemate that has shut down the Federal Aviation Administration will continue into September, and Republicans have blocked a bipartisan Senate plan extending the agency's authority to operate. Now, the shutdown has led to thousands of layoffs, idled airport construction, and is costing the government revenue from lost airline taxes millions of dollars, literally. Time to let the Willis watchdogs out. David Rare is a professor at George Washington University. Yu Dee is the chief trader and sole principal of Ace Investment Strategists, and Gretchen Hamill is the executive director of Public Notice. Gretchen, let's start with you. What do you make of this?
Well, I think this is another example of Congress, just leaving its responsibilities at the table and going home for vacation. I mean, the heat just has gotten to them in Washington when it comes to spending, and, they're leaving a lot of things undone.
But, Yu Dee, they're spending now even more because they didn't make a decision. Come on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, Jerry, I feel very mixed on this issue. 4,000 FAA workers furloughed, like you were saying, construction workers, $30 million in revenue per day from the airline taxes. And, she's right. And the congressmen are walking away for summer vacation. But again, on the other hand, FAA has been in partial shutdown for about a month now. As far as I know, actually, the nation's aviation's been functioning fine. So I tell you, Jerry, I have two words for the solution of this problem: privatization and term limit.
Ooh, all right, David, do you have a similar analysis here?
Well, I do. There's actually a policy difference between the Senate Democrats and the House Republicans. It involves making it easier to unionize pilots, and that's what the stumbling block is. House Republicans want to keep the law as it is. Senate Democrats and the president want to make it easier for pilots to organize unions, and I think that's going to continue to be a stumbling block for a while.
I tell you, they cannot get one simple thing done. You got to have more success rates than that, let me tell you. All right, the Department of Labor pointing to one statistic that shows confidence may be returning to the economy. Almost 2 million quit their jobs in May, up 35% from 2010. The report says this is because Americans are more optimistic than in years past that they will find another job. David, I don't even know if I believe this. Do you?
Well, I do. If you're out in the hinterland, you find that Americans, despite high unemployment, bad economic conditions, are optimistic about their own futures. Many people are willing to trade their current jobs for other jobs where they can enjoy other variables in their lifestyle, more time with their families. There's an entrepreneurial spirit going on in the country, which I think is very positive.
I love that. Gretchen?
I think this is bad spin. I think that people are, very down on the way things are. I think Gallup, Pew, everyone talks about how optimism in America is at a low, and I think people are starting to look for more fulfilling jobs instead of just a regular old job.
Yu Dee, are you looking for a job? You work for yourself, right? You're happy as a clam.
Exactly. But are you kidding me? Confidence in the economy? 9.2% unemployment. Last month in June, 18,000 jobs created. By the way, Jerry, 18,000 per month. That will take us 70 years to get back to full employment. Friday, the number for July is going to come out, expected to be 89,000. At that rate, it will take 14 years to get back to full employment. There's no way they have confidence in the so-called economy. I think it's basically two reasons. One is the pinned-up frustration for the past 3 years for their jobs, and finally they are testing the water. Second, I think it's sort of bird on a telephone wire type of thing. One worker expressed dissatisfaction, leaves. The other workers start saying, well, maybe I should test the water too.
Fascinating.
Jerry,
Go right ahead.
I was going to say, just remember that the greatest increase in entrepreneurism was in the late 70s and early 80s when we had high unemployment, high inflation. The misery index was at an all-time high because people want to break out and do their own thing to protect their families and their future.
Right. Although I'm not going to cheer for those conditions. It is a good result.
No.
All right. Our nation's capital, guess what? It tops the nation for alcohol abuse. Yes, Washington leads in something. According to a report by the Substance Abuse Administration, more than 8% of D.C. adults are dependent on alcohol, but only 3% of teens in Washington are drinkers. Yu Dee, are you surprised here?
I'm sorry, Jerry. What were you saying we do in Washington, D.C.?
Wait. We got to show Yu Dee. Yu Dee, what are you doing there, mister? Did you bring alcohol? You can't drink alcohol on TV.
Is that allowed?
It's cranberry. It's cranberry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. There I go.
But again, I mean, in the figures, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really read the report in that much detail. Are they talking about Washington, D.C., or are they strictly talking about Capitol Hills? I mean, if you work on the Hills, why wouldn't you drink?
I know, and I think they probably drink more than their fair share to make up for everybody else, would be my guess, but not to slag Gretchen, people who are working hard for us. I'm sorry, they're going on vacation, aren't they?
They're going on vacation where they're going to be drinking. So drinking is actually going to be down. But Washington does agree on one thing, and that is a good, cold beer on a hot summer day. In fact, we even ran an advertising campaign buying out all the coasters in 60 of the top bars in D.C. and putting posters in the bathroom.
You have an answer? We got to go quickly.
Yeah, I was just saying, the methodology of the study is somewhat suspect. It asks people if they drank once in the last month. You can't really decide that people are dependent on alcohol with such a wide question.
Not really. Okay, David, Yu Dee, Gretchen, thanks so much for helping us out today. We really appreciate it.
Salute.
Thank you.
We'll drink to that.
Coming up in just a few minutes, Neil Cavuto with